I am here in Illustrator working on my alpaca, and the one thing that I wanted you to see that I have going on here is using the texture and the transparency in layers. So I started and I'm working again one little bit at a time. And there is my background layer for my head, and all of the texture that you see going on here was created with the sponge, and that is under object, I'm sorry, effect and artistic, and all the different effects that you have as filters in Photoshop. You can also apply in Illustrator here. So I thought that really looks a lot like my original intent here of the texture of the alpaca, that he almost has that rug look to him because he's been shaved, that they shave them every summer. So as that is building on top of him, then I've done that. And part of what I think is so interesting in this is as I'm adding a layer on top of a layer, that I'm still creating that sponge effect, but look at the difference that the transparency of that layer makes, that I can still see the sponge texture underneath the gray there. So that I've got that transparent gray, kind of has the brownish area of his fur show through in the original, and I'm able to change that pretty well by when I've created that. Then down here you have color, you have gradient, and under transparency then you can change your opacity of whichever one that you're drawing. And see, I can make it go more or less transparent when it's there. So I suggest as you're building these different things and trying to make them look more or less realistic, that you play with some of those effects. And at times I've used the feather as well as like that one right there. Definitely is feathered as well as using the effects, trying to get the effects to look as close to what I can have in my original intent of what I'm trying to create. And so as I stack those up, then he looks more and more and more like that original alpaca. Have fun. And please let me know, you guys, if you're struggling